Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. We have one that's really special for you guys today. As you know, Jess and I have moved out here from Toronto to Atlantic, Canada. We are in New Brunswick and we've just been trying to slowly adapt and become real Maritimers. Part of that is food. Well, obviously food is a huge one. It plays a major role in everyone's life, but this one has been tricky. Especially us being vegan, you know, seafood is massive out here. It's a huge industry. And there is one delicacy that is a highly touted item of food out here, and it is the lobster roll. It really breaks our heart, the lobster roll. It was one of the toughest things to give up being vegan is lobster. Both Jess and I really did love lobster, but small sacrifice for a bigger cause. But there is some good news for us. We have found the perfect substitute for lobster, and it is an unusual suspect. It's something that you wouldn't have thought of, you know, right off the bat, but we have found it. We're here to share it with you today. Do you want to know what it is? Drum roll, please. The lion's mane mushroom. We have found this unicorn ingredient by mistake, kind of. Well, it turns out people already know about this for a lobster substitute. We just are new to it, and we're very excited. We are gonna recreate a lobster roll today for you. The vegan version, of course. I'm gonna leave this one up to Jess. You guys know that she is the cook. She's the one who actually knows what she's doing in the kitchen, but we're very excited to show you. So let's hop into it. This is the vegan lobster roll. Oh man, I'm so excited. I'm starving right now. Let's go.
Okay, so this is the lion's mane mushroom. It's kind of a funny looking mushroom. It kind of looks like a pom-pom, but if you get really close, you can see that it's kind of stringy. So when you cook it, you kind of get this, seafood-like texture that pulls apart. I didn't actually know that lion's mane mushrooms were culinary mushrooms. I've eaten lion's mane before in powder form as a medicinal can't say it. I've eaten lion's mane mushroom before as a powder for medicinal reasons. It's really good for cognitive function and brain health, but I actually didn't know that you could cook with them until we found these at the market a couple weeks ago. So very exciting. Okay, so we're just gonna start by breaking it apart. I might cut some into smaller pieces too, and then we're gonna make them smaller, make the pieces smaller after they're finished cooking. So in order to figure out this recipe, I kind of looked at traditional lobster roll recipes, because obviously the only difference here is we're using mushrooms instead of lobster. So I wanted to keep all the flavors the same, really. I've seen some vegan recipes for lobster rolls using hearts of palm. I haven't tried that yet, but that would be a less expensive option. The lion's mane mushrooms are a bit pricey, but if you're comparing them to lobster, they're about the same or less for sure. So now they're broken up into maybe like 1 inch, 2 inch pieces, and we're gonna throw them in the frying pan with a little bit of avocado oil just to cook them. I'll probably have to do these in 2 batches just because I don't want to put too many of the pieces in the pan at one time. Actually, the texture to me reminds me more of crab than lobster so far. You could actually use lobster mushrooms, like those are a thing. I've never seen them. You have to probably order them online. I've actually never seen lion's mane mushrooms up until this point either, so these kind of specialty mushrooms are hard to find. These are obviously mushrooms and not lobster, so they're gonna brown up a little bit, and they're not gonna have that like pink orange color that lobster has. But I think that when we put the dressing on and we put it all together and put it in the bun, it should still look pretty close.
Okay, while we're waiting for those to cook, shout out to Spring Hill Farms. I think they're based out of Quispam. Anyways, we always see the dude, I'm not positive of his name. He's at like all the farmers markets. So keep a lookout, and it is always great to just support those local businesses. That's what makes this even better, even sweeter in the end. We're about halfway there. Really hoping these turn out. Let's go.
Okay, I'm just gonna turn these off of the heat, and then we can start on the dressing. So the mushrooms are cooked. We're just gonna wait for those to cool, and while they're cooling, we're gonna make the sauce. So this recipe is definitely gonna be all about the sauce. So we're gonna start with a 1/4 cup of mayo, vegan mayo. Okay, so because lobster kind of has like a naturally sweet taste, I wanted to have like an element of sweetness in here, but just like very little. So I think we'll do a teaspoon of maple syrup. And then we'll do, let's do 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. So this is going to be like a tart, the tart aspect of it. And then lemon, of course. So I love lemon, so I'm probably going to go heavy, but you can decide. Probably about the juice of half of a small lemon should be good. Now I'm going to add some pepper. Okay, and this is kind of a secret, not secret, but like special ingredient. To give it that like seafoody taste without there actually being seafood in it, we're going to use some granulated dulse. This is just basically like seaweed, and this comes from Grand Manan. I think I'll do half a teaspoon of this. Maybe 1/4. A little under half a teaspoon. Next kind of flavoring is Old Bay seasoning. So you'll oftentimes find this in crab cakes or in like seafood chowders, stuff like that. So I thought it would be a good addition to add. We'll probably do a 1/4 teaspoon. Good pinch of salt. Okay, the next thing we're gonna add is the celery. So we probably have close to a half a cup of celery, chopped pretty finely here. Doing a mix of green onion and red onion. I probably would have chose chives, but I didn't have any, so I'm just gonna use green onion instead. Okay, so the dressing is done now. I'm just gonna stick it in the fridge while I get everything else ready, and then we'll be able to assemble the lobster roll.
Almost ready. We're at the finish line.
Yes. Okay, so buns are nice and toasty. So I'm just gonna add the mushrooms into the sauce, the dressing. And we'll give it all a good mix. So if you'll notice, the mushrooms are, what am I trying to say? They're mushrooms, right? So they shrink a lot when they cook. So the amount that we started with is like half now, but that's okay. I think we should still get 2 lobster rolls out of this. Looks pretty good. Okay, we have our toasted buns, so I'm just gonna put butter. And then vegan butter and lots of mayo, lettuce on each bun, and then we're gonna load it up.
Okay, moment of truth. We are here for the official taste test.
This is a hard thing to eat on camera.
Yeah, really good. Just the lion's mane on its own.
Yeah, it definitely has that like pull apart texture. It's even kind of like buttery, like lobster.
It's pretty bang on. I think
really
if you gave this to somebody, didn't call it just something different, they would totally think this is lobster or crab. Like that total same.
I don't think
vibe.
you're fooling No, I don't think you're fooling anyone with this.
No?
No.
I think if they're not expecting anything.
Well, maybe. I don't know. It's delicious. It's like a very good substitute.
Abby, what do you think? How is it?
Bad.
You like the sauce?
Yeah, eat it with my fingers right there.
So thoughts?
Really, really good. Yeah, I think it was a great first try. The mushrooms were awesome. I will probably tweak the dressing a little bit next time just because I think it was a little too thin. But no, it was really good.
Okay, yes, I definitely agree. Definitely hit the spot for me. I'm feeling very, very thankful and grateful that I had that lobster roll. The reason that we go out of our way to do these things is that we can tick all those boxes, satisfy all those cravings without harming. We just had a lobster roll. Maybe it wasn't identical, but it was pretty darn close. We were expecting something. If you gave that to someone who wasn't expecting that it wasn't real lobster, they might have a hard time knowing. So we encourage you, if you have the chance, just, give that plant-based option a shot. You might be surprised. You probably will be surprised. And, that's always a good thing. Nothing dying, live and let live, as we like to say. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big fat like and subscribe to our channel. That being said, we will see you in the next. With that being said, we will see you in the next video. Peace.